Welcome back to Pink Turtle Soaps. So I figured out that I have the keen ability to pick the absolute worst time to film a soap making video. There's always something happening outside, whether it's my dogs barking or my neighbors mowing their yard, but today it's a thunderstorm. The soap that I'm making today is inspired by Pocahontas. The fragrance that I chose is called Clean Crisp Air, and it really does smell like air when you walk outside. It's got some green notes. It's got the tiniest floral undertones. It's what I like to call it in the middle fragrance, where it's not too feminine, it's not too masculine. It's really suitable for everyone. And I think this fragrance matches this soap design perfectly. So it says that this fragrance oil will slightly accelerate, so I'm going to try to avoid using the stick blender as much as possible. The first step is to pour my lye water, which is sodium hydroxide mixed with water, which is also very dangerous. I can leave you a link in the description all about lye safety if you're interested in that. It's really, really interesting. Especially if you're interested in making soap yourself, that is definitely something you need to watch before anything else. I'm going to pour this into my bucket of oils, blend them together, and that makes soap. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour my lye water straight into my oils and blend them together. Okay, now that everything is nice and blended together, I'm going to pour off a small amount into 4 smaller little cups. I'm going to try not to spill, but usually always happens. So I actually didn't make that big of a mess. I'm kind of surprised. So this first accent color, I'm using Mango Tango. It's a really, really bright orange. I've had it for quite a while, so I don't know if they still make this color, but if not, I'll find a really close and comparable shade that they have. And I'll leave a link to all these colors. They come from Nurture Soap, so if you're interested in any of them, you can just go to that link and check them out. The second accent color is Purple Vibrance. The third accent color is Pink Vibrance. And the fourth accent color, I'm using High Society Green. And then for this large container back here, I'm using Sky Blue. Okay, I've got everything mixed up, and I know that this looks green. For some reason, when I use a really, really light shade of blue, it goes like a weird shade of green, but after the soap sets up, it goes back to like a really light blue, so that's what I'm expecting this to do. Then we have our green, pink, purple, and orange, and I'm going to go ahead and add the fragrance oil, and I'm going to mix that in by hand because, again, I don't want it to accelerate crazy fast. So I'll go ahead and mix these up really quick, and we'll come back when it's time to do our in the pot swirl. Well, we've run into an issue. The fragrance seems to be rising, which you really have to use the stick blender to work that out. So hopefully this doesn't get too thick. So I'm going to try to blend these up with a stick blender for just a second. Okay, so guys, I was really, really sweating it out. I was afraid that this was going to get way too thick, but I think we have just enough time to do the design that I was wanting to do. So I'm going to start with the purple. I'm going to pour it all into one side. Next, I'm going to do the orange. Pour into this side. I'm going to take the pink and pour that in. Then we're going to come in with the green, which you may not be able to see it because this blue looks really green right now. And pour up from up high so that way it reaches the bottom. It's starting to thicken up, which it may actually work to my advantage when I get to pouring. Who knows? Alright, so I've got my molds here and it's time to pour this in. I'm going to do it really slowly. I'm I'm going to try to split it up into each loaf so that each one gets equal amounts of each color. There's some of that pink coming in. And now some of that green. It smells so good. Oops. We're just going to ignore that. That fragrance is coming through really strong. Patting it down just to make sure that it gets in all the corners. Okay, so I'm going to scrape out my bucket because I do want to leave this pretty flat. So in this bag I have leaves that I made out of glycerin soap, and I used the same colorants that I used inside the soap, and then I rolled them around in a mix of shimmer gold mica and gold dust glitter. So all I'm going to do is grab a handful and just randomly place these on top of the soap. So all the embeds are in and they look absolutely perfect. I think that the swirling on the inside along with the leaves are really going to give us a Pocahontas feel. If you've watched the movie, you know where this like design and color combination inspiration came from. Also, look how glittery and gold my hands are. I don't think we're going to have to wait terribly long to come back and cut this up. It set up really quick while I was pouring it. So I don't expect for this to take the normal 24 hours. I'll probably come back in about 18 hours, and if it's ready, we will cut it up. Okay, so we're back to cut up this soap. Like I said, it really was ready to cut up at about 20 hours-ish, but it's been a few days, and we're back, and I'm ready to cut this up. I'm telling you, here lately I've been so distracted. My kids just started pre-K, and my mind's just all over the place. Let's go ahead and cut off this first bar. And those leaves are so easy to cut through. I was actually surprised. Usually the end bars don't have quite as many details on the inside. Once we get cutting closer to the middle of the loaf, you'll probably see more swirling going on. And there's the leaves on top. You can see the details in them. It looks really nice. I think that gold just helps bring out the detail. If you'd like to grab yourself a bar, these will be available at pinkturtlesoaps.com November 1st at 8 a.m. If you like soap making videos, be sure to subscribe because I put up new soap making videos every single Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.